Hello, everybody. It's Old Bear from the Old Bear's Den Bigfoot. Been working on some encounters, and we got one from Australia. It's about a female Yowie. And what happened is this couple, many years ago, uh, got married, and happens around the world. Didn't have a lot of money for a honeymoon. So they decided to go, their family supplied them with camping stuff, and they went camping. Now, while they were camping, they had heard strange noises on their first night. Second night, they heard footsteps around their camp. And, well, the next morning they got up to eat breakfast, and they found this wreath. It was placed on their car because they slept in the car. They had a wagon back then, and it was a loaner from one of the family members. And they didn't really think a whole lot about it. Just thought, strange someone would bring a wreath that was made from uh, vines and little trees, and they thought it was kind of strange. But they kept doing it as they kept going camping to this area, and over the years, and they started having children. Well, now they started seeing wreaths with flowers put in them. And every time they had a child and went camping, there was one for each child. Sorry. So, this happened over a 20-year period. Their children finally started growing up. They had 3 kids, and the last camping trip that they took together as a family, they found 3 wreaths. Well, the kids had all grown up. You know how kids are. They get to that teenage stage, they find out what girls or boys are, and they don't go with mom and dad. Mom and dad's not cool. I've went through it multiple times with mine. But it's what it is. So the couple got older, and they still enjoyed going camping and spending time with, each other. And they would always hear something on the first night they were there. Strange calls coming from the woods from a great distance away, quarter of a mile, half a mile away. And second night, the wreaths would reappear every time. The last time they had a camper, they had a truck. Well, it was an SUV, and they were pulling the camper, and they stayed here. They stayed at this campsite exclusively, basically, throughout the years. And the last time they were there, last trip, they decided that they were going to do a week-long excursion. And just like always, they heard the screams on the first night. Second night, there was 3 wreaths, and every one of them were fashioned the same. Just different colored flowers were placed in these wreaths, representing their sons. They had 2 sons and 1 girl. And there was a little bit of a difference in the first night. They heard the sounds, but they were very close. And they stayed up late. And though they stayed up late, I'll try to get this to where you can hear me with all the wind and the chimes going off. Anyways, they stayed up late, And, this couple has never seen anything, never knew anything about Yowie. They at one point went to a town nearby and asked, and ran into an older gentleman, and he was telling them about a Yowie, and they didn't believe it. No such thing as a Yowie. There's not a Bigfoot, not Sasquatch, not a hairy man. That stuff is just, bunk. Yeah. So, their final trip that they went together as a married couple, and they've been married 24 years, and it was an annual event that they did, and they heard the sounds the first night, and they weren't very far away. So they stayed up late, and they were sitting there around the campfire, and they heard footfalls, heavy footfalls. And around 11 o'clock, the husband was sitting there, and he kind of, leaned back, and he was clearing his eyes, and he was getting tired, and so was the wife. And they heard footfalls coming towards them. And they're thinking, why would a human be out in the woods at night without a flashlight? Well, they keep looking in a direction, and the fire's kind of over on their left side, and they're sitting to the right of it, and they had turned their chairs and were looking into the dark forest. Still getting over the flu. But they were looking into the forest, like this. And the husband saw movement. And when he saw movement, he touched his wife's arm. He said, honey, there's something in the woods. And she's looking, and she's not seeing anything. And all of a sudden, this big Yowie steps out. Big female. And she's got little flowers in her hair. And she's holding something. She takes the things she's got in her hands, sticks them on the ground in front of her, just kind of looks back up at them, acknowledges them by bowing her head just a tad bit. And at that point, he's like, oh my God, they're real. And the wife is stunned in silence. Well, this Yowie walks off. The husband jumps up and grabs a torch, flashlight, and goes over and picks up the 3 wreaths and brings them over to his wife. And the realization hits them. All those years they were getting those 3 wreaths, it was this Yowie that was making them, putting the flowers in to represent their 2 sons and their daughter. And at this point, they're sitting there in stunned silence. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to think. And they hear at a distance, probably no more than 150, 200 yards away, what sounds like a death moan, like a person dying. It's very loud. It's clear. It's not. And they look at each other, and they're like, did she just die? So, you tell me what you think. I know what I feel, and I know what I think. But leave a comment. Tell us how you feel about this one. And may God bless each and every one of you, and we love you all. And thank you for always being there for us. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.